Hello, hello. So, this is interesting. I'm just noticing the way that it shows me my video looks a little bit different. I think they must have Facebook must have updated how their lives or updated their lives, updated how they behave and look and all that. So, hello, welcome. It's week 51, and we are talking about how it's not lazy to be realistic. It's okay to adjust your expectations, your intentions to fit within your energy needs. Hey, Mom. Good to see you. It's totally okay to adjust your intentions and goals and achievement goals to what is realistic within your schedule and your energy level and your preferences. I think that's so important. The meme that I shared is a tweet from Anna Woods, and I believe she's the one who leads She Strength on Instagram, and it's a really good profile that I follow. But she says, we have to be more honest with ourselves when making goals. If we won't be able to set aside 5 days a week of workouts, don't set a goal for 5 days of workouts in 2022. Setting a goal for 2 days a week is more effective if you have time for that and can get it done every week. And there's so much wisdom packed into that, and it's a representative statement for a lot of different areas. So that is kind of the balance that I have been trying to strike in my own life, and as I recovered from energy issues and strength issues, is like I know what the theoretical ideal is. Like, according to the textbooks, how much should I be working out? Hey Adam, good to see you. Thanks for being here. So how much should I be working out? At what volume? What duration? What weight? Like, there's all the things that the textbooks have figured out. Hey Lori, good to see you. And then there's, how does that fit into my life? And so my earliest, one of the earliest applications of that for me was working out, because I was obsessed for years trying to figure out, how do I get stronger? How do I get more energy? And I was skinny and weak, and I wanted to be stronger. And I had a small library of strength training books, textbooks, exercise books, workout programs, bodybuilding books, and I read all of them, devoured all the information, all of the research, and I tried to apply it. I would do these intensive workouts, usually full body, and I was getting weaker and smaller because I didn't have enough energy. So none of the books that I read at the time said anything about taking, long breaks between working muscle groups. So it was just a pure experiment when I decided to split the body into 14 different parts and just work one part a day and get through the whole body in 2 weeks. Like, based on everything I read, like, you're supposed to be getting, not letting anything rest more than a couple of days and then getting back to it. So at least 3-4 full body workouts a week, or if you were splitting it up, then you should be doing something every day and getting through the whole body once or twice a week. And that wasn't working. So I decided, I could try it, just experiment. And so I did. And that was when I first started experiencing any kind of improvement, which was huge. So not only not a setback, but a little bit of gain in strength. I could do a couple more repetitions, and it was incredible. So making sure that you what the principle is, like what kind of foods are ideal to be eating. So you know what the ideal is. You know how much you should be working out or how often, what duration, and then listening to your body. What is your body telling you? And how do you adapt what you know about what you should be eating or should be doing and what you can do? So if it's food, what are you emotionally ready to make changes with? What are you emotionally ready to shift on? And if you're not quite emotionally ready, maybe you will be soon, but how can you get there? What are the goals? What are some compromises? Like if there's a certain food that has a certain emotional meaning to you, and at a certain time of the day you're always eating the same thing, and you think, this isn't really aligned with my goals, but I can't not do this one thing at this time of day for this reason, emotional reason, that's fine. Just be curious about it, listen to it, think about it. Is there something healthier or a little bit more aligned with your goals that you could substitute that for? Or maybe what you do is you go to the store and you look at what all of the options are for that type of thing. Whether it's like sometimes it's say it's ice cream. I need to have ice cream after dinner before bed because that's what we did as a family, and that was the only positive memory that I have of my childhood. And it's really important for me to have ice cream before bed. So what you could do is go to the store, look at every single type of ice cream that they have, and see, is there something maybe that's a little bit healthier than what I've been eating that will taste close enough to what I'm used to that it won't be this big emotional shock. Like going from having ice cream as a snack before bed to eating a couple of apple slices might not cut it just yet. So what could be a bridge item to help you move towards something healthier? So it doesn't really matter what you do instead. If it's healthier, then that's positive movement. And if you can get yourself to be okay with something different, that's positive movement. So kind of getting out of your rut, getting out of your cycle, but in a way that isn't completely jarring and disruptive and intrusive and all the things to the pattern that you're used to, is really positive. And so then, obviously I did that with the strength training, and I do that still. I'm always, doing research and hearing testimony from other people, and I think, oh, that's a cool idea. Like I want to try exercising that way for a little bit and see how my body reacts to it. And but I modify it and make sure it works with my schedule. My current workout personally, I've gone back to kind of an extended split routine where I've got the body split in 10 ways, and I'm hearing neighbors yelling and stuff. So I've got the body split 10 ways. I'm also only doing 4 or 5 workouts, or 4 or 5 sets, only up to about 9 repetitions. So I'm making sure that it's heavy enough that I am reaching fatigue by 9 repetitions. And then I do 1 drop set after each heavy set, and that's it. It takes me like 25 minutes, and I get through the whole body in 10 days. So that's what I'm playing with right now, and it's been really fun. It's been really efficient. Just one muscle group again at a time. It's actually been a while since I've done it that way. Personally, I usually do like a push-pull leg kind of split, and mix it up that way. But yeah, so it's just, there's no right way, there's no wrong way, there's only you. And there are some people who have done some research and figured out best ways to do things. And so we can look at those lists, get that feedback, and then how do I make that work for me and adapt it for me? And it doesn't matter if it's not exactly the way they are saying to do it, because the way they're saying to do it worked well for them. But it's not necessarily going to work the same way for everyone. So you get to make modifications and experiment with something else. Everything is an experiment. And that's why I love this, and I love adapting everything we're doing to the people that I'm working with, and to each of you, and to myself, because it's all going to probably work best in a unique way for each of us. So don't ever feel embarrassed that you're not doing it the way other people are doing it. Like, you might be doing it the best way for you, and you might actually have a brilliant idea in the way that you've modified things. So so what I said before was this is what intuitive momentum is all about: adjusting your habits to align with both your desires and your life, energy, and schedule. So how does this fit with your life? How does it fit with your energy levels? How does it fit with your schedule? Just because you can't work out in ways you used to, or like others do, doesn't mean you can't move forward toward your dreams. Adjust and proceed. So part of this is honoring your preferences. So it's not just like the more hardline obstacles or demands like schedule or energy level. You get to do things that you prefer. That's why when I work with clients, have worked with clients like in person, and usually in a gym setting, usually where we have a lot of options, I'm like, do you like classes? Do you like working out with people? Do you like water? Do you like endurance, cardio? Do you like lifting, strength? Do you like working out by yourself? What are your goals? Why are you here? What do you want from your body? More strength, more energy, more speed, to play a sport better, to keep up with your grandkids, to climb some mountains, to do a triathlon or an Ironman. Like, what are your goals? What makes you come alive? Do you want to look a certain way? Do you want your body composition to look a certain way? So be in touch with what you want. And, don't ever shame yourself for ways that you might feel vain. I love Marianne Williamson's quote, "Who am I to be gorgeous, fabulous, talented? Who are you not to be? You are a child of God. You were born to make manifest the light that is within you." So, just like the flower that grows out of the ground, it's not embarrassed to bloom. It doesn't feel conceited or arrogant or vain to bloom. Like, no one shames the flower for blooming, but we feel shame when we shine too bright. So yeah, let go of that and chase your dreams. Be all that you desire to be, even if it's just like, I really want a great butt and strong shoulders. Like, awesome. Have a great butt and strong shoulders. Like, let's do it. So, don't ever feel embarrassed about that. So mom says, there does seem to be a deficit of information on fitness for those with health issues. Yeah. So that's one of the reasons, that I am writing the book that I'm writing. Because I want to speak to all those people who have felt left out of the fitness culture. There's lots I could say about that, and it ties into with something Adam says in one of his comments. So, Lori says, right, Sally, and I would think most of us do have health issues of one sort or another. Yeah, and if people don't grow up with health issues, they end up with them, and then that's when they kind of retire from exercising, if they hadn't already, because I feel like a lot of people grow up with just, if they're blessed health-wise, then they grow up with energy, they grow up with strength, and they take it for granted. They don't know where it came from. They just assume it's always going to be there. And so they play like multiple sports in high school and are pretty intense about it, and then they maybe focus on one in college, and then they get out in their career, and then they get married and they start a family, if it's a typical kind of trajectory. Then and then usually about 10 or 15 years later, they come back to the gym and they want to get back in shape, and they try to do one of the workouts that they remember doing like it was yesterday, and they hurt themselves, or they're just completely exhausted, and they think, oh, maybe I'm too old. Like, I'm 30, 35 now. And maybe I'm just too old. I shouldn't be doing this anymore. And no, it's just, they took a really long break after being super intense, and your body doesn't maintain what it's not using. So, and they just, need to get back to it and be nice and gentle, adapt a program, but they instantly feel like they're lazy, and they just feel like full of shame for not being able to do what they used to do, or realizing that they can't do anymore what they used to do, and not knowing that it's just a matter of time and consistency before they would be able to do what they could do. But they were doing it too intensely before. And so, the health, most of us do have health issues, but like the fitness industry seems to pretend, or want to pretend, that everyone can push themselves like a high school athlete, or like a military. Like, it's kind of like, I feel like it's a status thing within fitness to be hardcore and to prove that you are powerful and strong and fast and amazing. And I believe for most people, the vast majority of people, fitness needs to be practical. Like, I don't know, it's if we were to like translate it into how we take care of cars, because like most new cars now, you're on a schedule, when you need to go get the oil changed, when you need to get a filter switched out, when you need to get the car washed, when you need to refill on gas. Like, we're pretty balanced when we take care of our cars for the most part. But fitness culture is kind of like somebody wanting their car to be treated like a race car. And it's like, I want to, squeal into the unit, get all my tires changed at the same time, and get the oil changed and all this stuff, and be done in 20 minutes and hit the road. Like if getting the oil changed was that, and doing maintenance on the car was like that elaborate and intense, that's kind of like what the fitness culture seems to be. We got to make it really impressive, really intense, really elaborate, and it doesn't need to be. You just it's like brushing your teeth. Yeah, perfection right now in hopes of reducing shame. Yeah, it's fitness and health is not super impressive. It's just, the matter of doing these simple things regularly so that you can send those signals to your body to get stronger and get healthier and become more vibrant and have it be supported in all the ways that it needs to be supported. And so I like the teeth brushing analogy. Like, you're not gonna, like the way most people approach their New Year's resolutions, and they work out for an hour a day for 5 days, and they try to maybe do that for a week and a half, and then they fall off of it. If you were to look at the whole year worth and like how much exercise you did the first week versus how much you did the rest of the year, for most people, it'd be like brushing your teeth for an hour on Sunday and then forgetting to do it the rest of the week. Like, no, just brush your teeth for a minute, 2 minutes, each morning, each night, and then you don't have to do it for an hour. You're not gonna get ahead or catch up by brushing your teeth for an hour when you should have done it all week long. So that's kind of the analogy to fitness, just like simple things consistently so that you're gradually getting stronger and stronger and stronger. So, yeah. So I want to get to your comments. So Naughty says, realistic goals, that's a great concept. Thank you. Yes, this is a helpful reminder. I certainly need to be more honest with myself in this regard. I think it's hard because a teeny tiny voice of shame believes in overly ambitious goals. Only overly ambitious goals are allowed. I will challenge myself to create these. I feel this is a paradigm shifting concept to bring into awareness. I'm actually very mind blown, which feels silly, but there it is. Breaking out of the matrix. Yeah, it's amazing how often we are kind of stuck in just the conditioned thinking of the culture that we're in, whether it's the fitness culture or other cultures, but there's just these certain paradigms where we align and conform and don't really think about whether it serves us best. So I love that you're going to explore that. I love that you're listening to your shame. That is challenging. Let me see that. So I'm trying to get to, okay, there we go. You can see the comments. So mom says, I remember a friend doing therapy after her leg surgery, and it almost didn't look like anything. It was just the simplest movement. I think that's about where I'm at this point, to avoid hurting myself, my upper body, neck area especially. Yeah. I know it's amazing how we discount the simple things, whether it's stretching or foam rolling or going for a walk or taking an Epsom salt bath or therapy. One of my pickleball buddies, he is in his 70s and pretty great shape, but he got tennis elbow and golfer's elbow on the same side. So different tendons in the same elbow were both overexhausted, and and he just told me this like last Saturday, I think, that he was given these little exercises to do by the physical therapist, and he thought, oh, that won't do anything. But after 6 weeks, like, it was completely better, and it hasn't bothered him since. So it is amazing how those ultra simple movements and exercises can be so helpful, and but it's like easy to discount that. So I think it's valuable to remember that those simple things do work. Yeah, so hopefully that does work for you, Mom, keeping it simple, consistent. And then Danielle says, I used to force myself to work out 4 to 5 times a week by lifting heavy, but then I was not able to do anything else the rest of the day. At least I worked out, I told myself, but I fell apart at the end of the day and built myself up for a migraine. Now I decide to take a nap instead, or eat a better meal. A brisk walk sometimes replaces my lifting. What a difference this has made in my body and how it responds to heavy workouts. I just needed to listen. For me, it's getting moving and lifting hard. But when life's been rough, lay down instead. Listen to how you feel and don't shame yourself. Yes, so good. So if you have been in a workout routine that you like, but you find yourself like really tired afterward and like not able to function, then play with downscaling that workout routine. Like, if you like it, keep it, but maybe, cut the sets in half, or alternate half of the workouts each time you do it. So you get to half of them one time and then the other half the next time you come back to that muscle group. So there's different ways to play with it, but always modify to make sure that you are keeping you're honoring where you're at physically in your body and energetically with your energy levels. So yeah, that's really good. Andy says, when I see people posting about doing intense, tough workouts almost every day, I feel like I should be able to do the same. If I have a day when I just don't have much energy, I feel guilty for taking it easier on myself and doing an easy walk instead of going to the gym. I'm not sure why I'm so hard on myself, but I'm thankful for this group and I look forward to learning to treat myself with more gentleness. Yeah, that's so good, so wise. It's tough to let go of that status symbol, in a sense of having that really intense workout and being able to prove that you can do it. Because yeah, I know for myself, when I have a day where I'm like, man, I just don't have the energy for this today, and I end up cutting it short or kind of doing a modified version or something else entirely, it's easy to kind of be fearful that I have lost the capacity to do the workout that I'm used to doing. But, I haven't. I just need to give myself a little bit more of a break, or a little more energy, pace it out a little bit. And just like, I need to practice faith that I will be able to do this workout that I love doing at some point in the future. But and it's maybe a little bit easier for me because I did grow up with extreme fatigue. So the first 22, 23 years of my life, I was a certified wimp. And that's kind of how I thought of myself. And so I was really living by faith that maybe there was something different possible in the future. And so I kept trying things and modifying things to hopefully experience some strength and some energy at some point, someday. And so I have all of that to look back on. There is the element of me that's like, oh no, I'm going back to weakness if I can't keep up. But also I know that I lived all those years in weakness and have experienced something so totally different since then. And so I get to trust, like, you know what, there's going to be ups and downs in this experience. And I know that there's going to be another up coming soon. And I don't have to judge my entire future based on how I'm feeling right in this moment. So, yeah. And then Andy, you talked about people posting, doing intense, tough workouts. So different personalities are able to do different things. I'm talking about the personality, which is kind of weird, but the personality determines where the energy goes and how much you have. So a more narcissistic personality is going to be very in tune with themselves and not very in tune with anyone else. And so they're going to be able to max out their own energy reserves. Like they are using all their energy for themselves, which is great for them. And so, you know, and the same thing with, you know, how sensitive people are to their environment and how stimulated they are to their environment. So a low stimulated person is going to want something really wild, really crazy, really intense to feel really good. And some of us, a lot of us, are very sensitive to life and are very stimulated by life. And we're the ones that need, you know, quiet time and time by ourselves to recover and rejuvenate. So our energy is flowing in different ways, different patterns. And so one person is going to be like, oh man, I've got too much energy. I just need to like burn it all off and do something really intense so I can feel like I did something. And then another person is going to be like, you know, my day was insane enough. I'm going to do a gentle workout to stimulate my body a little bit and help it remember that it needs to get stronger. It wants to get stronger. And that's what I'm going to do. So we really can't compare, because if that other person that was doing an intense workout only had the same amount of energy that you did, because all of a sudden they were empathic and highly stimulated and all the things that you are, they wouldn't know what to do because they wouldn't have any of the energy that they're used to having. So you really just can't compare. We're not weaker than them or less motivated than them or less committed than them or whatever. We have a lot more going on energetically than they do. So that's important to remember. And so I have to save up my energy for my pickleball and the volleyball because when I play for 2 hours, I go all out and I drain myself. And it's so much fun, but then it's not good for me to do that 2 days in a row. So I try to like pace it, and most of the other guys are out playing pickleball every chance they get, like every day, sometimes a couple times a day. But not only are they have different workouts or different energy levels, different personalities, but they're not necessarily doing massage therapy, and they don't have a regular lifting routine like I do and all that. So like it all balances out, and we have to remember all the things and not just kind of refuse the shame. So yeah, awesome. Andy, thank you for sharing that. Lori says, my Tai Chi, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, instructor says to only do 70% of capacity. You'll get benefits with less chance of injury. I love that. Yeah, I think that's so good. Because you want to save something for the rest of your day. So like I have a couple of things coming to mind at the same time, and I might forget all of them because they all came at the same time. But okay, so less chance of injury. That's reminding me of what I was thinking. Sometimes you see if you follow some fitness people on Instagram, you've got people balancing on balls while trying to do these different lifts and stuff, and there's like they are probably low stimulus people that need some excitement and some risk, but it's like there's no reason to have risk of injury in order to get stronger. Like there's no correlation. So you don't need to do something that's like really dangerous in order to get faster, stronger, leap higher, like those things. So the element of danger in working out is completely unnecessary and really a major liability. So I love the 70% capacity. You'll get benefits with less chance of injury. So that's good. So Adam makes an interesting comment. He replies to Andy, says, ditto to all of this. I'm trying to be more realistic about my expectations and where I'm at in life, while also doing what needs to be done each day and not being too hard on myself for my limitations. It's a daily challenge, and I'm trying to reset my mindset around this. I've listened to way too much David Goggins, and I now realize that we can't all be Superman like him, although he may take issue with that. But for now, I'm trying to find the happy medium. So yeah, I've not read David Goggins' book, but he's the former Navy SEAL, that's ultra runner and all this stuff, like super impressive. He like turned his life around and all that. But and I know he overcame a lot, and he's done a lot and all that stuff. But you know, there's definitely a balance with honoring your body and taking your energy and your body and your schedule and your life and your preferences into consideration while still moving toward your goals. So I believe that you have to be able to balance both and not necessarily try to become Superman. And the thing that I love about most superheroes is that they do have weaknesses and challenges to overcome, and they're not perfect and they're not impervious to difficulties or pain, but they have a capacity to care for others in a way that most people don't. Like, you know, what makes Spider-Man feel responsible for New York when none of the other citizens feel like responsible to go fix everything? It's a very empathic personality to be a superhero, but you also have to care for yourself, because you know the superheroes themselves teach us that when you don't take care of yourself and you don't balance and you are taking care of everyone else to your detriment, then that usually backfires in massive ways, and then you're unable to continue to care for people, and then they reject you because you don't care for them anymore. So yeah, if you make a habit of prioritizing yourself, listening to yourself, making modifications and everything so that you can honor your needs while also fulfilling your mission and following your passion and purpose in life, then that's going to be a good balance to strike. So yeah, if there's anything else, post a comment. Otherwise, yeah, just keep the conversation going. If you're watching this on the replay, I'll be posting to YouTube, so there'll be an unlisted link there for those who aren't here currently, and you can watch that. So love you guys. Hope you're doing well. If you need anything, reach out, post in the group, or send me a message, and we will take care of you. So talk to you soon. Love you.